Let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, also known as last year, I thought I was doing all right with money. I had a job. I paid rent. Most months. I treated myself to Deliveroo when I was too tired to cook, which was basically 4 nights a week. I had Netflix, Spotify, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, and one gym membership I never used. But hey, at least I intended to be healthy. I genuinely believed I was managing. Until the day I opened my banking app and my account balance stared back at me like a crime scene. £3.74. That was it. That was all I had to my name, with 5 days left till payday. And 2 pending transactions I didn't even remember making. The worst part? I wasn't even surprised. Because deep down, I knew. I'd been making money mistakes, big ones, and I'd been ignoring them like they were junk mail. So sit down. Let me walk you through every financial mistake that absolutely wrecked me, in the hope that it saves someone else from being down to their last 3 pounds and change with a sad tin of beans and nothing in the fridge. Mistake 1. I'll save when I earn more. Classic. I told myself this for years. When I make more, I'll start saving. When I get a better job, then I'll get serious. Turns out, no, I wouldn't. Because when I finally got a raise, do you know what I did? I upgraded my life, immediately. Started going out for 6-pound lattes instead of 3-pound ones. Took a weekend trip to Brighton just because. Ordered Uber Eats like I had a black card. Suddenly my expenses grew, and my savings stayed exactly the same. 0. It turns out, if you can't save 50 pounds from 500 pounds, you won't magically save 500 pounds from 5,000 pounds. Because the real problem? Me. Not my income. My habits. Mistake 2. Credit cards are not a personality. I used to swipe my credit card like it owed me money. New shoes? Swipe. Night out? Swipe. Spontaneous treat-yourself moment at 2 a.m.? Swipe. The thing about credit cards is they're sneaky. They don't feel like real money. Until the bill shows up. And suddenly you owe 783 pounds and 62 pence for stuff you don't even remember buying. I once paid off a takeaway order. Yes, food, over 3 months. That's 12 pounds for noodles that ended up costing me 18 pounds with interest. And they weren't even that good. Mistake 3. Living by vibes, not by budget. Budgeting sounded boring, restrictive, too grown up. I wanted freedom, not spreadsheets. So I winged it every single month. But when you live by vibes, your money dies by violence. I'd get paid on Friday and be broke by the following Wednesday. I didn't need a psychic to tell me my future. My future was standing in front of the ATM, praying for a miracle, knowing full well I spent 47 pounds on sushi last night and had no business being that reckless. Mistake 4. Subscriptions were draining me dry. At one point, I had over 9 subscriptions. Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, Apple TV, Audible, Headspace, HelloFresh, a skin wellness app I downloaded while drunk, and a digital magazine I never read. Each one was between 5 and 15 pounds a month. Individually, nothing crazy. Together, around 85 pounds per month. That's over 1,000 pounds a year. To mostly forget they exist. I was bleeding money slowly. Death by 1,000 monthly payments. Mistake 5. The lifestyle creep monster. Raise came in. I celebrated. With new clothes, a fancier flat. Weekend drinks that turned into Sunday regret. I was making more, sure. But I was also spending more. I wasn't upgrading my life, I was just upgrading my expenses. You ever look around and realize you have nicer things, but still feel broke? Yeah, that's lifestyle creep. A very sneaky, very seductive monster. Mistake 6, signing things without reading. I joined a gym because they were offering a free fitness assessment. Did I read the contract? Number I signed faster than you can say burpee. Turns out the free assessment came with a 12-month minimum contract at £29.99 a month. I went 3 times. Cost me nearly 360 pounds. That's 120 pounds per workout. By that math, I could have just hired a private trainer, a yoga coach, and a therapist. Always read the fine print. It's where regret lives. Mistake 7. Thinking student loans are good debt. I was told university debt was an investment in your future. Right, except I'm paying 200 pounds a month for a degree in media studies, and I work in customer service. At this rate, I'll finish paying off my loan around the time I qualify for a pension. The debt may be good, but it still feels bad every time it leaves my account. Mistake 8. Flexing for people who don't even like me. Instagram made me do it. Posting 9-pound cocktails with the caption, "Living my best life." Designer sneakers on Klarna. Buying clothes I didn't even like just to look like I had it together. Truth is, I didn't. I was trying to impress people who don't even know my middle name. You know who I did impress? No one, except my inner saboteur. Flexing for social media is like setting money on fire and hoping the smoke makes people think you're rich. Mistake 9. No emergency fund. One winter, my boiler died. Like, full-on, I'm done energy. It was minus 2 degrees Celsius. I had to call someone out for repairs. Cost? 235 pounds. And guess what? I didn't have it. I had to borrow money from my mom. At 27 years old. For heat. I cried. Then I laughed. Then I cried again. If I'd had just 500 pounds stashed away, I wouldn't have had to call her. Embarrassed on a Wednesday night, wrapped in 3 blankets, Googling, "Can I survive without heating?" Mistake 10. One income stream. That's it. I used to think my job was secure. Then 2020 happened. A global pandemic, and suddenly I was furloughed. Then laid off. Then unemployed for 3 months. I had no backup plan. No side hustle. No savings. Just vibes and Wi-Fi. That's when I realized having only one income source is like playing Jenga with one hand tied behind your back. The whole thing falls apart the moment someone sneezes. Mistake. 11. Falling for quick money lies. I once bought into a crypto group for 100 pounds. The guy said it would 10 times my money. Guess what I got? Nothing. Just a Telegram group full of vague charts, hype messages, and silence when the price crashed. Another time, I paid 75 pounds for an Amazon dropshipping masterclass. The only thing I dropped was my brain cells. Anytime someone tells you they made 5,000 pounds overnight, they're either lying, leaving out key details, or about to sell you something. There's no shortcut. Just long, boring roads with uncomfortable truths. Mistake 12. Never negotiating. Ever. My first job offer? They said 23,000 pounds, and I said, "Great," without blinking. Turns out they had a 26,000 pound budget. I missed out on 3,000 pounds because I was too scared to ask. Let me say that again. 3,000 pounds. Gone. Because I was afraid to be difficult. Companies expect negotiation. They're counting on your fear. Mistake 13. Equating money with happiness. There was a phase where I thought if I just earned more, I'd be happy. Then I got a better job. More money, more stress, more burnout. Same sadness. Money can buy relief. It can buy options. But happiness? Nah, that's internal work. I bought new trainers to feel better. Didn't work. Tried retail therapy. Ended up with parcels and panic. Real happiness came from stability. From not panicking every time my card declined. From breathing easier because I had a plan. Mistake 14. No goals, just chaos. You ever ask someone what they're saving for and they say, "Just in case?" Yeah, that was me. I had no targets, no direction, just vibes and a dream of being rich one day. I treated saving like a wish list instead of a mission. Until I sat down, wrote actual goals, like 1,000 pound emergency fund and pay off overdraft. And suddenly, things clicked. Give your money a job, or it'll find stupid things to do. Mistake 15. Comparison killed my progress. I watched friends buy houses, get promotions, take luxury holidays, and I felt like a failure. But what I didn't see was the debt behind those holidays, the parents helping with house deposits, the burnout behind the job promotions. Comparison made me reckless. It made me spend to feel equal. It made me ignore my own journey. Now I stay in my lane. Quiet, focused, and building, even if no one's watching. Mistake 16. Financial illiteracy is expensive. I once paid £48 in overdraft fees because I didn't realize my account went negative. Didn't know how ISAs worked. Didn't know about tax brackets. Didn't even understand interest rates properly. The less you know, the more it costs you. And no, school didn't teach me. But ignorance still charges rent. I started reading, watching videos, listening to podcasts. 10 minutes a day changed everything. Mistake 17. Taxes. Oh God, the taxes. I started freelancing, made decent money, felt like a boss. Then tax season hit. And I realized I owed £2,100. I hadn't saved a penny for it. Panic, regret, instant noodles for a month. Now, every time I get paid, I put 30% into a separate account. Because the tax man always comes knocking, and he doesn't do payment plans without pain. Mistake 18. Relying on willpower. I kept telling myself I'd be better next month, that I'd stop spending, that I'd try harder. But willpower is like Wi-Fi. Unreliable under pressure. What saved me wasn't motivation, it was systems. Direct debits into savings, blocking shopping apps, cash stuffing my weekly spend, removing temptation before I even got paid. It wasn't sexy, but it worked. So here I am. After 18 mistakes, some painful, some expensive, all humbling, now I have a budget, an emergency fund, a side hustle, and most importantly, clarity. The truth? Most of us aren't bad with money. We're just uninformed, unprepared, and drowning in a culture that tells us spending is happiness and saving is for boring people. But let me tell you, being broke is the real boring life. Start with one change, one bill canceled, one habit flipped. Your future self is waiting. And trust me, they'll be shocked, but grateful.